Good evening, everybody. This is the Town of Wellington Board of Finance special meeting of August 2025, and it is 7:03 PM, and the meeting is called to order. We'll start with seating of alternates.
Can I move? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have to say, I was just gonna make a motion. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say alternates are needed for Christina and I think Christina-
Walter. Walter, yeah. I'll move to, seat Britt Rothhauser for, Christina.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Nay. Any abstentions?
I'll move to seat Melissa Miller for Walter Parcell.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Unanimous. Let's move on to the approval of the minutes from July 9th, 2025.
I do have a couple things that we're looking. First of all, I don't know if this is as kosher, but on the addendum, I had made a statement under good and welfare on July 9th about the expertise and the finesse of the poll workers on the third referendum. And I wrote something and made my comments at that time. I just like to add with appreciation for and list their names if that's agreeable to the board and if it's even possible. And I don't really know if it's okay to do that, but I brought a copy, Lisa, with the names, so I can submit that, or what do you?
We'd already done that, right?
I submitted the
She did.
attachment, the attachment did
Right.
not have
And
names
it did
on
not
it.
make it, yes.
Okay. It's a no problem to include it, do you think? Do we need the agreement of the board
Yeah,
or the consensus anyway?
well, I'm,
So I could just say who they are, just
Yeah.
Jennifer Thorpe was the moderator, and she's a rather new moderator. Nicole Snyder is town clerk, Suzanne Chapman is registrar, Christine Sappis is registrar, Peter Lyons, Tess Gutkowski, Colleen Peck, and Nitsa Benson, so. And elsewhere, I was hoping on the bottom of page 2, I think,
Yeah,
if before it says Midsummer, that's Ms. Latinzik's, I think we need a little segue there to, because of, why I asked for that. So wondered if you could say, and I've written it out here if you need it. In response to Mr. Tella's uncertainty regarding the restored 70,000 in education cost sharing revenues, Ms. Summers, blah, 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 asked Ms. Latinzik's to, if asked if Ms. Latinzik's could comment on ECS. Because I think it needs that segue about why we just started there. And on page 3, it's 70,000 in ECS, isn't it, Donna? Versus it says 150, 70,000 in ECS and 80,000 in town aid for roads. That doesn't add up to 150. I mean, it was 72,000 is what I recall.
for ECS.
So can we just say 70 there instead of 80 in the minutes?
I'm sorry, where are you looking?
Page 3, it's right under present to speak.
So it was something that was stated by a member of the public.
Okay, leave it as is. That's fine. That's fine. And you're right. And the only other thing is, on page 4, could we make Bob Shabbat's name read SHABOT? That's it.
so all those in favor of accepting the minutes with the edits that have been mentioned, say aye.
Well, do we have to move
I'll
to?
need a motion.
Yeah, we do.
I move to accept the minutes from July 9th with the mentioned edits.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The abstentions? It's unanimous. Now we'll move on to present to speak. Public participation is desired and encouraged. Speakers will be limited to time and appropriateness of comments to maintain progress, stay on topic, and maintain decorum. Do we have anybody for present to speak? No, nobody's online. All right, so if not, we'll be moving on to new business.
Oh, don't say that.
Item 1 is call for a town meeting to appropriate funds for public works to purchase a lawnmower. Background, there is $103,150 in the approved fiscal year 25-26 CIP plan for a new roadside mower for Public Works to replace the 2009 mower. The funding source is the reserve fund. Use of the reserve fund per section 7-364 requires a recommendation of the budget making authority, Board of Finance, and approval by the legislative body, town meeting. Therefore, please consider the following motion. Peter, you have any comments on this?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's best after, before or after the motion is made. Yeah, this is a project that was put into CIP, I believe, for this year. They asked for a roadside mower and a dump truck, and I think the dump truck was cut. They need their roadside mower. Also, the reason we're calling a special meeting and so we can move this process along is that if we don't get it moved along soon enough, the price goes up relatively soon. So we have to sign the contract like ASAP. And I told Troy, I don't wanna sign the contract till we make sure we have the money. So that's why I'm asking for this special meeting.
Do you know how much it would go up?
I don't, that's because this was a quote that was given to us for the planning of CIP.
Yeah,
So it's already getting a little long in the tooth. This would, the other advantage of this mower is that it'll cut the time that we have to spend in half. And seeing as how I'm losing 25% of my public works in next week, public works staff, if we cut the time of mowing in half, it helps me out a lot.
you're not gonna lose that forever though.
No.
Okay, just wanted to make that clear. We're not
The
cutting
guy that we're
staff.
replacing is not easy to replace, so.
Right,
It took me 4 or 5 months.
Sure.
Pete, is this an anticipation of the tariffs? Is this?
No, I don't believe this is tariff related.
Oh, okay, cause I.
Because I think this is, the pieces are already here, so.
Okay, okay.
that's a good question.
Anybody else have questions of Peter? So the suggested motion is please consider a recommendation that the Board of Selectmen call a town meeting to appropriate $103,150 from the reserve fund to account number 04-4055 for a new roadside mower for Public Works to replace the 2009 M&B mower.
Are you moving that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
All right.
Could I just ask, if, Pete, can you because 103 sounds like 103 grand sounds like a lot of money. Can you just sort of say what features it has? You said it's a faster.
It's twice the reach. It's a ground flop mower, from what I understand. I'm not an expert on roadside mowing by any stretch of the imagination, so this is my interpretation of what Troy told me. So it's a good sized tractor with an attachment on the side to get it moved. We also have one on an arm, to get over the guardrails,
Right.
but that cuts a very narrow swath, so.
Yeah, that's not a lot of money for equipment.
Oh, no,
We
I
used
know
to be in
that.
Dairy
I know
Queen, so
that,
we
just,
know.
it's a lot of money for a little town, that's all.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask that question, but, there was something else I was gonna ask you about. Oh, just I was gonna point out that yes, I think we asked Troy at the time what his priorities were.
Yes.
To dump or this, and
Yes.
this was the priority,
This
so
is
I
a
think
priority
we should
for
bear that
it.
in mind, yeah.
I remember that conversation.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, he was gonna try to make it online. He's allergic to bees. And when he was moving a stop sign, the white-faced hornet nest on the other side of the sign got him. So that may be why he's not here.
So you really are gonna.
Yes.
On Public Works staff, whoops. Well, I hope he's okay.
I hope so too.
That's all.
All right, any further questions or discussion regarding this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? It's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Peter. We'll move on to item 2, discuss the modification of various town ordinances for the town clerk, Peter Tanaka.
Let me get my glasses, but this is small. I think ink was $100 an ounce. We only use 6 point type these days.
Either that or I'm getting older. So the first, ordinance change that particularly applies to this committee is, let me make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yes, leased land. So if the town leases land from a nonprofit, this may applies mostly to the fire departments. We do not tax the nonprofit for the land that the town is leasing. So the town doesn't have to increase the amount that they pay to the nonprofit so that they can pay their taxes back to the town for the land that the town is using. So what it does is it takes an entire cycle of money out, and it makes the bookkeeping significantly easier. This ordinance originally went into effect in 2015. And the reason we want to change it is the last line of the ordinance is and shall encompass the fiscal year July 2015-2016 tax billing. So the reason it was added in was so that we know when the ordinance started, but seeing as how that was 10 years ago and it's already started, it could cause confusion. So most of these changes are changes the state reviews our ordinances from time to time electronically, and their legal department sends us suggestions for changes, and they suggested we remove that one sentence. However, we have to do it at town meeting because it's an ordinance. Any questions on that one?
Yeah, I thought when you guys were talking about it, selectmen, my memory was it was about property, like for instance, school computers that would be released from taxation. I mean, those would normally be taxed as property. Is that? Yeah,
That's,
it said-
no, this
This
specifically
is about
says
land in
from
particular.
nonprofit organizations, and I don't believe we lease our computers from a
But
nonprofit.
it does say exemption for personal property leased to town.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That,
so I don't think that's real estate property, personal property,
it's,
right?
I think it's both. But it's from nonprofits. That's one line in it, personal property leased is the line before that, so it's property and equipment. Leased by nonprofits to the town.
Okay, so it says real and personal property?
The line right before it says, any,
No, it just is for Article X of Chapter 270 contains an ordinance adopted by the town in
leased
2015.
equipment.
Any
Yeah,
personal
well,
property leased to the town.
I believe that, I thought that it was both, but I could be wrong. All I know is that it's taking out one cycle, so. And all we're taking out is when it starts. And it's
Yeah.
started 10 years ago, and I think we can all agree that 10 years ago it started and it's still going.
And it can be clarified at the town meeting,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
that maybe you could pin that down, because my understanding
right.
was it was personal property, which
All right.
is, yeah, okay.
The second one, which is even more in the wheelhouse of this, is price schedule items marketed and sold, it has to do with getting bids on items in excess of $5,000. The state has suggested we change that to $50,000. I think that a more realistic number is either $20,000 or $30,000. I'll let you figure that out. But there's a number of things is that if, when you go through the bid process for items under $20,000, which could be tires on a dump truck, it adds an extra 6 weeks because you have to put out the bid, you have to wait for the bids to come in, you have to have an opening, then you have to come to the Board of Finance, so it adds at least a month and a half to the process. And we found recently that for a lot of items under $20,000, people don't wanna give us a bid, so we're not getting 3 bidders anyways. I can think of any number of times in the recent past where this is the one bid we got.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think it would speed us up by 6 weeks for the only bid we already got anyways.
And that's for products and services, like, that would be for a furnace or something,
Yeah.
you know.
For
Obviously, it
supplies,
would be enough,
materials,
but-
equipment,
Yeah.
services, or other work.
Okay,
And what is the number they wanna? They said.
It said
They
50.
said 50,000, it's currently 5,
Okay,
they suggested 50,
that seems
I'm thinking that's a
high.
little excessive.
25 seems
particularly
like a
for-
reasonable.
Since 50,000, I think it comes close to half a percentage point on our taxes or
Yeah.
something, so.
That seems high.
It's
I
significant
agree.
money, so I was thinking 20 or 30. I'm leaving that up to you. And I will take your suggestion for the town meeting. The third one is exemptions for veterans and surviving spouses. And it has to do with, exemptions, the veteran exemptions of subsection 19 of section 12-81 of the general statutes of Connecticut. And, according to our statute currently, it will be shown on the schedule here to attach the incorporated herein. And they pointed out that we did not have it attached, here to attached or incorporated herein because it changes every year. So I am suggesting that we change that sentence to the annual schedule shall be on file and made available at the Willington office of the assessor. And that way we don't have to change the ordinance every year, we can just change the schedule.
and that's the IRS, income schedule, or what is it?
Yeah.
Exemptions for veterans and surviving spouses.
Yeah, but what was it that needs to be available?
The schedule, it's right down at the fourth from the last line. So the amounts of qualifying income shown on the schedule here to attach and incorporated herein.
It's the IRS. Like income brackets or something like that, income quality.
Yeah, like if you make less than a certain.
Yeah, I just wanna know how they're referring to it, I'm not seeing it. No material.
So the state has made 3 suggestions that we redo the statute every year incorporating the schedule herein. Or delete the wording or revise. And my suggestion is to revise and have it available at the assessor's office.
Is that something the assessor has anyway? That
Yeah,
schedule
they have
every
to have
year?
it anyway.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Which is why I chose that is because it means I don't have to do anything different. And then the last one is the Solid Waste Advisory Commission Ordinance, Volume 7, page 13. I'm suggesting we repeal that. Board is supposed to meet 6 times annually in accordance with the schedule as to be established. We have had no activity on this board at all since 2017, and there are currently no members of the board.
Hello.
Did I hear a comment? Also, all of the things that this board do have been taken over regionally by Mid-NERAC and state statute. So there's not a lot for this committee to do. In fact, I would say it's reasonably close to 0.
What did you call that, taken over by what?
Mid-NERAC, capital M, small I, small d, NEROC.
Thanks.
It's the mid-northeast coverage, well, I can't remember what it is. They do all the garbage. Everything that you throw out, they take care of.
So are you looking for a, sort of
Just to repeal the whole
mercy
statute.
killing of that one?
Yeah, mercy killing. That would be a good way of putting it, yes. I'm just trying to clean up the the ordinances, because on other levels of government, I've seen what leaving old ordinances that no longer apply in place can do in the long run. As we learn from the federal government on the.
Peter, if I could suggest on item number 2, the one for bids.
Yeah.
You and the Board of Selectmen were to discuss this. And then come back to me with what you think would be an appropriate amount and then. we can
Okay,
put it on the agenda.
I would, I would prefer to do it the opposite way. I prefer you guys to tell me what it is because that's more of a finance decision. And I don't want to take another 2 weeks before I get this to town meeting. I've got to take all of this to town meeting. If we can have one town meeting instead of 2, it'll save us approximately $1,500. So if you have a discussion, you come up with a number that I think 20 to 30 is 20 or 30 is reasonable. It depends on what you guys. Also, what's it take to go to town? When we
Yeah,
have to go to
what
town meeting,
pushes us to
meeting,
town
and-
meeting anyway?
20,000 pushes us to town meeting.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
it?
there you go.
Why wouldn't we just do 20,000?
There you go.
Is that still onerous as far as getting bids? I mean, when you're at that low of a,
It's 4 times where we're at now, and if we find that it's onerous, we can change it again.
It is.
Because
a
the
little-
state law says up to 50,000, so. We can pick anything up to 50,000.
And we are finding it is a little onerous because
Yes.
I know that the fire department commission is having difficulties
Correct,
getting bids and stuff like that.
Yeah. for instance, they're looking at. Exhaust something or other at Station 13 to meet OSHA standards, and they've only got 1 bid, so. They're gonna be a problem,
I mean,
it's gonna be a problem for
Getting
them.
bids just in
Yeah.
general right now
Yeah.
is a challenge. So, I mean, 20,000, since that's already our threshold,
Yeah.
it would make sense to use 20,000 as just a across the board blanket
Yeah.
threshold. That seems fine. Moving the blanket threshold up to 25,000 also would make sense. To give it a little extra, since we know that everything has bumped up just in terms of costs
Mhm.
across the board.
I-
That would also make sense.
is that a possibility, Donna? Or is that sort of deep baked in a completely different issue? Cause it seems like while we're looking at this, I do kind of think there's something beautiful about having a number we'll all remember. Because there's some continuity to it.
Mhm.
Did the attorney have any suggestions at all?
The attorney said 50, but I don't think
Okay.
that's.
Thank you, because I thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
That's.
That's
way
just
high.
awfully high.
Yeah,
But for Waterbury, it makes sense, for Hartford, it makes sense.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Bridgeport,
For
it makes
Litchfield,
sense.
it really makes sense.
For Wellington, it doesn't make as much sense.
Glastonbury?
Sure. Wellington, not so much.
Donna, can I draw you out on what your opinion is on the discussion or what you're thinking?
I am thinking, I agree with everything Britt said. And, I see that both could be good, 20 or 25.
What is that, is it a separate thing to rate, to make that the new sort of bar, or do the other things are already kind of in place and it would take a lot more change to do the other things, because we're kind of limiting it to this one ordinance on bidding. You know what I mean?
So,
What prompts a town meeting cost wise?
The $20,000 is if you want an additional appropriation from surplus or fund balance, then you have to go to the town meeting to get that.
How do we change that to 25?
I do not think you can.
Okay.
That's a statute. and as
Okay,
far as
that's
I
what I
know,
would-
That,
It's,
then let's do
set in
20.
stone.
Let's do that at 20.
If you do it over 20, you're gonna have voters asking at the town meeting if it was put out the bid.
Yeah.
And then you have to tell them, no, it wasn't put out the bid. They're not gonna.
So-
be happy about that.
the other thing I'm noting is this was adopted in 1978, and I just did a look at inflation since, the mid-80s, because I had a question on dollar, and it's approximately 4 times now. 25 cents in 1980 is worth $1 now, so. four times makes sense, because that brings us up to the level.
That makes it even more, makes sense.
So
So does
Do
somebody
we-
wanna make a
is there a
motion?
consensus that you need, Peter? Or?
All I need is a motion to say 20,000, and I'll run with it.
I say let's I make a motion that we bump it up to 20,000 for taking it to
Bid.
bid. Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? That's unanimous.
I thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Item number 3, CIP appropriation request for senior center toilet room door operators. So, background, there is $10,000 in the approved fiscal years 2025 to 26 CIP plan for toilet room door operators at the senior center. The funding source is LoSiP Local Capital Improvement Plan. LoSiP is a state-funded program. The state each year gives each town a formulated grant entitlement. Ours is about $87,000. Before the town can spend their LoSiP funds, they must be appropriated by taxpayers at a town meeting. Therefore, please consider the following motion.
I move that we please consider or that we please consider recommendation that the Board of Selectmen call a town meeting to appropriate 10,000 from LoSiP to account number 02-2028 for toilet room door operators at the senior center.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Just,
I would ask that you change the toilet to bathroom. It's getting into the bathroom, the toilet stalls themselves
Right.
are okay.
yeah, it's a big door to get in there,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, can I amend my motion then, or to make it restroom door operators?
Sure.
Is it a general restroom or is it a handicap restroom?
We have the men's room and the ladies' room, and
Okay.
so
Just
it's
same
just
room.
getting in
Okay.
and everybody uses the same
We'll just make it
bathrooms.
restroom. Thank you.
Maybe it's like mechanical push button operators.
That's what we would like.
They're not people.
I
knew it wasn't me.
I've been trying to figure. this
Although we
out.
have been asked about that.
And you
I was
said the
thinking-
door was heavy?
The doors are heavy, yeah.
Okay.
I was
You're
thinking,
not in
someone in a really nice uniform.
It's like a doorman, yeah.
I like it.
Any other
Class.
discussion or question?
Did I just, someone this morning mentioned they were wondering if the door was wide enough for a wheelchair to go through, so they might want to take that into consideration, so.
Well, is it wide enough?
I
I
thought that
believe
was.
they're handicapped accessible,
Yeah, yeah.
those doorways.
Yeah, I
so,
believe
yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
I would
probably.
I
rather
remember hearing
hearing
about
about
this
that
before
I
in
can't
CIP.
imagine that they
Yeah.
built the
It's
senior
a
center.
handicap stall in there.
With,
Doorways
without
too
being
narrow.
ADA, yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
I just wanted to mention that. I'm just a little appalled that we have a building owned by the town and, it's never been compliant for handicap access. And, it's, in arrears. I mean, it should have been done when the building was built. I just had a person in a wheelchair come out. Can you imagine in a group of people? She goes in to use the bathroom. She comes out and said, she has to ask someone to please open the door for her. Because the door opens the wrong way and someone has to open it so they can access. And in fact, this happened last week to me. Someone came to me when I was up there and the door was swollen from the humidity and she couldn't even get the door open anyway. And so this is such a lacking need. This is,
Well, that's what this would be correcting, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have a daughter who happens to be in a wheelchair, and I am very vocal, about places that make it difficult for handicapped people to live a normal life, as normal a life. And especially in a senior center, we have people with different appliances, walkers, wheelchairs, it's critical. And so I'm just speaking up as a town's person and an advocate.
Could you identify yourself for the record, because I'm sure we'd like to have that in the minutes.
Patricia Piatek, Clint Eldridge Road,
Okay.
many years in this town, and my husband served on the Board of Finance for many years.
Well, thank
We
you.
feel your pain.
Yeah. When the senior center was built, was it not built to be ADA compliant?
No,
I think,
No,
Really?
that's interesting.
how could it ever have been passed?
Why?
Sometimes
It's amazing.
if it's the year of the building too, sometimes that determines the way things are considered compliant. I know in certain renovations can be done where you don't have to do anything, but then if you do other renovations, you have to be compliant. So and I think it has to do with age of the building, unfortunately, but I don't know in this particular case.
Yeah.
I wasn't around when this was done, so.
When was the
what was the year?
20 years ago.
20 years
Yeah,
ago.
that's recent enough that shouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah.
It's long after ADA.
But I wonder if things have changed, like there's even more things now than there used to be 20 years ago, cause I moved into this town like, well, almost 20, not quite, but I think it was already built when I.
Yeah, it was built just after I got here.
Like and you've been here about 22.
22, just 22.
Yeah, and I've been here only 20.
Yeah.
So.
I do know that we run into this issue, retrofitting and kind of working around, but in both of our schools, because one's 100 and one's 75, they both have a lot of, and we have one of the handicap ramps at Hall anyway, the main one, has got some kind of crumbling effect that we're always working on, as well as I think in this building, we've had to work on things, haven't we, Pete?
Yes,
For ADA,
we're working on other issues as well.
yeah. So
I
I think
we
it's
are
great
catching up.
that you're shining a light on it, because
Definitely, yeah.
Alright, any other discussion? Alright, so we have two motions regarding the appropriation of funds for the toilet, for the restroom door operators at the senior center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. Now we will move on to end of year transfers for the town budget, Shauna.
There are 4 transfers on this. So just to review, these end of year transfers are something that we do at the end of every fiscal year. And it is just to prove up the departments that are tracking to be overspent. And we make a budget adjustment so that there are no departments that are overspent when the books are closed and audited. So the first one is the selectmen's budget, and that is tracking to be overspent by $2,262. And the shortfall is in the advertising line item. We had unbudgeted expenses for legal notices and job posting ads. And it can be covered with money in employee medical insurance that came in under budget.
Any questions for Donna?
I move that we transferred $2,262 to, is that 01 or 01?
Zero.
01.0111 from the to the selectmen's budget from 01.0831 from employees' health insurance.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? All right, on to item 2. It's $13,756 to 01.0141 town council. From 01.0134, the assessor, town attorney, and the land use attorney lines will be overspent. Turnover savings in the assistant assessor salary line will cover this. That's a motion. A second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Wait, could I just ask what led to the council, the extra?
We had a lot of legal expenses, there was some personnel issues. And I can't remember what all of the issues were, but we needed to talk to the lawyer a lot this year.
Was any of this the brownfield issue?
No, that's separate,
Separate.
that's 10,000 that's coming up later.
What's the land use attorney part?
That one, I don't know, that's Mike D'Amato's department, we have 2 law firms that we use, Pullman and Halloran. Pullman is for all the stuff that's not land use, and Halloran's for all the stuff that is land use. So I'm responsible for the Pullman problem,
Okay.
as such as it
I'm
is.
just asking because it's a bigger sum than the other transfers. So
Yeah, I fully admit my ignorance when it comes to land use law.
Do you know Donna on the land use? Okay.
Well, we have an issue that's currently in process that I don't feel comfortable speaking to right now, that's gonna be a good.
It will be a challenge to our
It will-
legal budgeting.
Yes, but that's a very slick way of putting what I said.
Any further discussion?
Thanks for that.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item number 3, $3,886 to 01.0185 senior center operations. From 01.0831 employees health insurance, the maintenance line will be overspent due to unbudgeted air conditioning repairs. The senior center is a cooling center. The employee dental insurance came in under budget. That's a motion. And second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. And item number 4, $171 to 01.0351 transfer station. From 01.0311 Public Works, temporary help at the transfer station will be overspent in the Public Works budget, has money to cover that. Do we have a second for that motion?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimous. Thank you, Donna. Correspondence. All right, so Peter has signed, and I'm gonna be signing the audit engagement letter. It outlines the auditor's responsibilities and the town's responsibilities when it comes to the annual financial audit. It's not an action item for the board, just information sharing, and the BOF chair signs the letter. That's just notifying everybody of that. Now, present to speak, public participation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask, haven't we had a measure for that before? That's a motion. I just have a memory of that. Or is it after the audit we move
I
to?
think the motion is after the audit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I needed a memory check.
Present to speak, public participation is desired and encouraged. Speakers will be limited to time and appropriateness of comments to maintain progress, stay on topic, and maintain decorum. Do we have anybody for present to speak? No. Anybody for good and welfare? Yes, yes, sir.
I'd like us all to keep Matt Grossi, our one of our attendants at the transfer station. In their thoughts, his mother who lived next door to him, Grossi Road, her house burnt to the ground. So he's been dealing with that, so.
My goodness.
And Red Hansen has taken a position for. To improve his financial outlook with the town of Manchester, I believe. And that's why he's leaving, so we will be looking for a new mechanic driver. And Red had a fantastic number of skills above and beyond what his position was. That saved this town a lot of money when we were doing renovations up in the common room, so I'd like to thank Red for his. Efforts with the town,
Do we have time for an anecdote?
sure.
I'd just like to hear
Oh.
story, do we? No, are you trying to get out of here?
No, he is.
No, let's give him the guys do, tell us a story.
Oh, when we tore up the stage here, it turns out that there was no floor underneath it.
Oh my gosh.
It just dropped directly into, the Board of Ed office. And,
I
so,
was gonna say hell. but-
Well,
yeah, it was not good, so he figured out how to do all the structural engineering and figured out all the woodworking that needed to be put in so that we have a supportive floor over there.
oh,
If you
good.
go up there now, you'll see the plywood where we don't have tile, that whole area, Red helped us fix that.
Very nice.
Thank you, Peter, and everybody keep Matt and his family in our prayers. And is there anything else for good and welfare? No? And at this time, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting for this evening. Do you have a second?
Second,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No. Okay, thanks, everybody, for coming.
Have a good night.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
AARO.
Maybe.
Yes.
maybe, yeah.
I have it on my calendar.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm just trying to think of it. Yeah.